client who lived in California, lost their house, very wealthy guy. He didn't use Bitcoin. He came over here, drove to Arizona with $286,000 worth of his gold because he had no money and no house available. His bank was shut down because he couldn't have access to his bank account.
Was this during the fire? Was this during the fires?
During the fire. Didn't have his driver's license. He lost it. The state wouldn't give him a new license because he had no active mailing address. Real mess. So he came to Arizona to buy a house. He's moving everything over. He said, the only thing I got in my possession that I can get liquid with right now is my gold. I gave him a check for $286,000, and guess what? I didn't need his social, his driver's license. Sort of smiled, and I said, you know, I know you and Brandon talked about how this worked, but boy, this is great. I feel good. I got my money. Nobody bothered me, and I'm protected, and it's private. So you people out there who are sitting on your hands when Wes and I are sending you these requests and Brandon and you are talking to you, you better get active because you're going to pay me $4,000 an ounce the end of the year. Trust me.
You better get your. I highly suggest you get your free packet. You don't have to do anything. It's free, no obligation. Just simply go to worldviewgold.com, fill out the form, worldviewgold.com, or just text Wes and give him your name and address and say, I want the free packet. That's all you got to do. 602-558-8585, 602-558-8585.
Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Live Up to Freedom on this Monday, what is today? September 15th. Wow. Fall's almost here and it feels like it, doesn't it? I hope wherever you're watching us from, you're hanging in there or you're doing good. We are live on worldviewtube.com, worldviewtube platforms of X and Rumble. And also if you have our app, you can watch us there. If you don't have the app, it is for free. Grab it, download it. Much easier to use it on your phone. We're also live on X American News X channel. We are live on my Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Substack. And I think that should conclude. So wherever you're watching, make sure to give it a like or a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. Also, make sure to share with your audience, friends, and followers. A lot to talk about. And I feel like I probably won't have enough time. But before I get to my computer, I made a promise to myself that I will not rush me today. And I will take as many deep breaths as I need so I can make sense today. Last week on Tuesday, I was on air with Brandon House for a couple of hours regarding what happened in Qatar, Doha. And then Wednesday, I think we were on air for about 6-7 hours. Thursday, another 4 or 5 hours. Friday, early morning, another 3 hours. So let me apologize for not doing my show at the show time of 4 p.m. But I was on air, audio only. Things were happening too fast. I have actually, as I walked to sit here at this desk, I realized the last time I was sitting here was last Monday doing my normal show. So I was on air, but not my own show. I want to talk a little bit, but I think from a different point of view. What's new? That rhymed. I've been trying to analyze and rationalize because that's what I do. Those who know me on a personal level will tell you that I'll find a way to rationalize any situation and any circumstances. I am not trying to understand or analyze or rationalize what happened on Wednesday, September 10th, at Utah University to Charlie Kirk's. That is not what I'm trying to do. Don't get mad at me. Stay here and listen to what I'm saying because it's going to make you mad at the beginning, but you'll see where I'm going with this. The reason I'm not rationalizing or analyzing what happened is because it's pretty clear what happened. We all have our own point of view. We all have our own take. We all know who we wanted to see arrested. And some of us did, some of us didn't. None of that is relevant. It's not. The assassination of Charlie Kirk um, is not a new thing to human society or American society at all. I am working on it. Soon I will release it. This has been going on for a long time, very long time. So there shouldn't be a shock of introduction of a new aspect to our lives. It has happened before. Was anyone expecting, necessarily counting on it being Charlie Kirk? No, because we shouldn't. We should never count on who's next, unlike left that is making a menu list of who's next. So I wasn't rattled or shocked, or I didn't need a moment to rationalize or analyze what happened. What I've been trying to rationalize and analyze is where we're at and the responses and where we are 6 days later. I never worked with Charlie Kirk. The only connection between me and Charlie was when I wrote a piece on my Substack recently after the 12-day war, correcting his historical facts that he got wrong, starting the Substack by saying this is not an attack on Charlie because he's doing a great job for our country. That was the only connections I had to Charlie. However, knowing of him and of his work style, one thing I want to emphasize on, that he said what he did was about Jesus. I don't think he is super happy that a lot of people on the right are turning him into an idol. What happened to Charlie Kirk, as tragic, unacceptable, and inhuman as it was, it wasn't about Charlie. As I said, there is a long list of names that have faced these circumstances. It has always been about good versus evil. Always. We can go back all the way to, I don't know, should we go back to Lincoln? One of the most popular ones. We can go to JFK. We can go to failed attempt on President Reagan. Any of them. You look at any of them, it has always been good versus evil. And the fact that we're taking more time to idolize a man than analyze the motive behind it is a little concerning. The second thing is why is it? Why, as humans, we are so good at worshiping death? On that note, I didn't necessarily get something ready as of, writing. I have a feeling it's going to stay on my heart long enough for me to write a short piece of letter, but I'm going to ask those of you who watch, those of you who follow my work and support my work because you believe in what I do. I'm now directly talking to you. When I die, I'll die. But I want you to stop anyone who suddenly appears out of the blue and turns me into this hero of the country using my material or pictures or selfies they took with me at some event 5 years ago and never even subscribed to my newsletter, to turn my death into of their awakening. I'm asking you to do that for me. Now, if I die, I don't know, of natural causes, fine. That would be, I don't know, based on my age, probably 40 to 50 years from today. But if my death is caused by taken out by jihadists or red green, I want you to make sure that people don't make, one, a martyr out of me. No. Secondly, the people who ignored the message, the people who weren't there when I was alive, please do not allow them to suddenly become my bestie because they have a selfie with me or they attended an event somewhere and, took a picture of me on a stage. That is the biggest thing that's bothering me about Charlie Kirk. I had to take off. I had to literally turn off all my devices, turn on a Iranian comedy show, grab a cup of tea Friday after about 5 p.m. because I just couldn't. I just couldn't. The flood of selfies with Charlie and sudden memories remembered by Charlie, or exploiting pictures of Charlie and his family for the clicks and the ratings and the suddenly adoring. And I did. Some of the pages I went in there and searched for months, never anything short of Charlie on their pages. Never. And that is disturbing. And to me, that is disgusting. If there's a saying, I don't know if it's Farsi, I don't know if it's English, Turkish at this point, I don't know, but it's if you're not bringing me flowers when I'm alive, do not put them on my grave. I think it is a Turkish saying. Anyways, that's what we have become of. Yes, Charlie Kirk was a huge name. He had 5.3 million followers. His events were sold out. But I actually checked, for example, his YouTube account. Number of shares, comments, or views, nothing. And that's what it is. We wait for someone to become the martyr and then get motivated. And then, of course, not to discourage everyone, but give it a month. Wait until Christmas and Thanksgiving and see how that goes on. A lot of people speak of they are encouraged and they are fired up. I will sit here and I will tell you, as of Friday, repeatedly every day, speaking to friends on private phone calls, I've told them I am very discouraged, but I am still all ears. Tell me what's next. And unless the next plan is tangible, logical, I'm not part of it. We are all Charlie. Hashtag and the slogan ain't going to go over, and it's not going to bring him back. It's not going to give his children a father. So I'm officially done with that part of the plan. Is there an actual tangible plan? I'm all in. If there isn't, well, then as I said, we wait until Thanksgiving or Christmas for a flood of hashtags and banners and posters and pictures and t-shirts to fade away. I should mention, since we are live, I will be glancing at the comment section. So if you have any comment, question, if you have any words of encouragement, discouragement, agreement, or disagreement, please feel free to put them on the comment section. I will glance at them. I have 15 seconds on this segment before we go to our first ad break. So I conclude here. Yes, my heart goes out to Charlie's family and the millions who looked at him as a leader. However, I am extremely disappointed in our country's reaction to what just happened. And as I've said many times, prayers without actions are just words. So let's go take a quick ad break. We'll be right back, and I will check on the comments as well. Don't go anywhere. Well, hello everybody, it's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying until now. And yes, lutfstudio.com, promo code MISSION, is a huge help. I will make another announcement at the end of this episode, but yes, it is extremely a big help if you head over and pick up a piece or two or place orders. As I said, Christmas coming up. Let me address Tammy J on Substack saying Kirk is an idol. Tammy, I'm not going to jump to conclusion and assume what your faith is, but I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in Christ. I try my best to follow Christ every day. And on that note, no man is ever of an idol to me, especially an idol to be worshipped. I will tell you that Charlie Kirk was man of God. That I can say. Charlie Kirk laid his life for his faith in Christ and for America. But I will not call him an idol or anyone else. I have never, even before I was saved, I was never an idol type of person. I never had starstruck when I saw someone. Do I have heroes? Yes. Is Charlie Kirk a hero? I don't think anybody can question that with logic. But, oh, okay. Tammy just corrected her comment saying Charlie is not an idol. Then never mind. We can scratch everything I said. Good afternoon, Billy. It is great to see you over on YouTube. Same thing with Paymon John. Oh, Hollis, it's so good to see you. I know you're saying you never got notifications, but I know I was missing you for a while on comment section. Christopher also said, oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that, Christopher. Apparently, Christopher's mom also, may she rest in peace, always said that bring me flowers while I'm still alive. There's a lot into that sentence. There is. Okay, so I am not. I said what I needed to say. As I said, I'm probably going to write it in a bit of a longer letter on my Substack. And by the way, I want to really encourage you guys to head over to my Substack, subscribe, become a paid subscriber if you can. It is extremely crucial today. And again, on the closing, I will let you know why. I am not trying to take away or brush off what happened. There's a lot to be said. I can actually do a 5-hour talk on it, but there's something that is my side of forte and expertise to cover. Friday, the 13th. Friday, no, the 12th Friday, in Utah, the very state that is under, microscope right now, and it's all over the map of news. In Utah, there was a bomb found under a Fox News, Fox 13, which is the Utah Fox News van, and it was lead, but it malfunctioned and thankfully didn't go off. This bomb led to arrest of 2 men. And as you can see on the screen, I released a Substack about it this morning, earlier afternoon. Much detail that is not everywhere else. Well, there is not much coverage anyways. That's number one. I have flipped through a lot of places and scrolled through a lot of places. But we don't talk about Islamic attack in America. We try not to, especially if we can have a heavier story to report on. The 2 men who were arrested. Now, mind you, the first thing I do, what do? I always look. Who was it? Okay, names are released. From the names, the reports are not mentioning this at all. Literally, no one is saying that most likely, 99.999%, both suspects, they are father and son. Where am I coming from? Or where did I get this conclusion? You have, why am I drawing a blank on the father's name? Hold on, let me open my sheet here. Adeeb. Adeeb Nasir, age 58, and Adil Nasir, age 31, were arrested. So I started looking. There are no mugshots released. Now, they were arrested, they were questioned, they were booked. And status right now says no bail set, meaning they're going to have, there's no bail set for them. Apparently, their crime, if we could put up the sheriff department arrest records up, they retracted or whatever, blacked out some of the information, but I requested this personally. and it was sent to my email personally. I put them side by side and sent them in for the record. It's also a copy of it on the Substack. The record shows that they have been arrested, questioned, booked, and held without bail. Reasoning for no bail is they have an overwhelming amount of evidence against them both, and they are both possibly high danger to society, to community. Now, when I sent the email originally to the sheriff department, I requested the following. I said, I am requesting the mugshot of both suspects. I am requesting their arrest record. I got a reply. Let me see if I have it here. I got a reply from the sheriff department attaching the record, but, taking off, I think, their date of birth and FBI case number. But this was said on the email. Mugshots are not releasable at this time as there is not a conviction associated with this booking. See below Utah code. Booking photographs are classified protected under Utah Code 63G-2-305-81A. An image taken of an individual during the process of booking the individual into jail unless the individual is convicted of a criminal offense based upon the conduct for which the individual was incarcerated at the time the image was taken. Number 2, a law enforcement agency release or disseminates the image after determining that the individual is a fugitive or an imminent threat to an individual or public safety, or releasing the image will assist in apprehending or the judge orders it. All true. These are all law. It is. But few questions. Number 1, if they are both supposedly not convicted, of course not convicted. However, the record of arrest literally says that, not the one I have, the one that was released by Fox 13 itself, says they are both held with no bail because of the overwhelming evidence that was recovered. Now, where was that recovered? When FBI raid the house, by the way, both live in the same house too. And that's where I made the connection. The age gap, the last name, and the address being the same is, well, they have to be father and son. Could it be brothers? Could. No, not really. Because the father, place of birth on the record, or arrest record, shows Pakistan. The son shows Utah. So, again, why is this such a big deal? Why is no record mentioning of their Muslim faith? Why is now someone on my Substack commented that, and then I went followed up the Fox News release of the paper. It doesn't have all that blackout areas. Their race is mentioned white, since when Pakistanis are white. Religion is not being mentioned. Their family ties of being father and son is not being released. Mugshots are not being released. So I guess just because the bomb didn't go off, who cares? Not that if the bomb went off, we would actually get the truth. But at least I guess they take comfort by them. By the way, I'm talking about FBI because FBI was called in immediately. But we made an arrest. They're so dangerous when they raided the house, or didn't raid, basically. They had a search warrant. They go in there and they find weapons, drugs, explosives, and some, they call it hoax bombs, whatever that means, I guess dummy bombs. They actually evacuated the neighborhood originally, and then they're like, oh, okay, these 2 bombs are not active. All of that, and the Utah Sheriff Department has the nerves to write back to me and say they're not convicted, so we're not releasing the mugshot. Let me ask you this. Why is it that Taylor Robinson's mugshot was released within minutes of after he was booked? Does anybody want to please feel free on the comment sections tell me why is it that when he's not convicted either, right? He's not. Tyler Robinson is not convicted. He is supposedly, he's alleged suspect in Charlie Kirk's shooting. His mugshot was immediately released to the public. Why is it that the Nasiri guy's mugshot is being protected by Utah? Again, same state, so I can't even play the whole red state, blue state, orange state, purple state, same state. Different county, same state. And I want to know, where is Governor Cox? Where are you, sir? You had all the time to show up for constant update on investigation, search, updates, arrest of Tyler Robinson. Again, please don't think I am undermining what happened to Charlie Kirk. What I'm bringing up here is, are you sick and tired of who gets protection and who doesn't? The Pakistani-born American citizen and his American-born Pakistani-raised son, their face is being protected. They're assumed not guilty until proven guilty with so much evidence of explosive and bombs and drugs and weapons in their house that, what are the charges here? What they're being charged with: weapon of mass destruction, manufacture, possession, sell, and use. Attempted aggravated arson. Don't get me started on that. I'm probably going to go there anyways. Threat of terrorism, use of weapon, hoax, mass destruction, explosive chemicals, possessing, removing, and then possessing parts of explosive chemical. It's the charges they're facing as of right now. But we protect their faces and mugshots because there's no conviction. They're so lucky I'm on air on Worldview YouTube, because the choice of words I have in my head right now, explosive. We don't report on this. Not heavily. If you actually search the Utah Fox News bombing, or look up Adil, Nasir, there's a list of websites that will come up that reported on it. Of course, Fox 13 was the first one because it was their van parked in front of a full occupied building. But you don't see the other major, specifically major conservative Christian channels reporting. We're going to take our next ad break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brandon House. Would you like to gain access to over 20 years of my radio shows, TV shows, my books? I've written 15 books, and most of those books are ebooks now. And we have conference DVDs, conferences where we filmed our conferences at the Ozarks, literally starting 20 years ago. It's all available in our archived vault. All you have to do is go to worldviewtube.com/vault, worldviewtube.com/vault, and for a reasonable monthly fee, you gain access to over 20 years of Christian worldview programming, news, information, books, documentaries, and a powerful search engine. And folks, it's a great way not only to educate yourself, equip yourself, but it's a big way that you can help fund our continuation as a broadcast network. Please check it out. worldviewtube.com/vault, worldviewtube.com/vault, and help us continue pushing out a Christian worldview.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. Yes, Christopher actually on the comment section, I think from YouTube, says they used to call that selective enforcement. Let's still call it the same thing. And waiting on his return on YouTube. Also, thank you for reminding me, going back to Charlie Kirk for a minute. Yes, Let's not mention all the shirts people have made to sell and profit from his death. The books on Amazon selling, making money, and all of that. Yes, thank you for reminding me because I, for some reason, skipped my mind. Again, disgusting. Back to, yes, InfoWars. And that's why I'm going to bluntly say it. Guys, when I ask you to subscribe to my Substack, either paid or free, it's not about me wanting bigger subscribers. Is it about me trying to not have to give this up and go flip burgers to pay my bills? Yes, it is. Because life has cost. Just this morning, trying to get rejected, declined on getting their mugshot was a full 1 hour, 17 minutes of my morning going back and forth. Emails were rejected, had to go to their website, dig into the archive, send in the email to the proper person, and then coming back saying no. I'm like, why not? They're give me the code. I'm like, okay, fine, give me the arrest record. All of that, which you scan through on my Substack in 5 seconds, was 1 hour, 17 minutes of my morning. Then, of course, go dig on their name, then go dig on their family list, so go do that. Here's what they're not mentioning. This is unacceptable. We are under Trump administration, right? We are dealing with Trump's FBI and DOJ. There is no mention of these two suspects being Muslim and being anti-Trump. Why? I want to know why FBI has not blasted this everywhere. Where do I have my evidence? Go check out my Substack. When you watch the video, actually, Thomas, is that okay if you play that video, the original report of the arrest, please?
2 men are under arrest after police say they placed an incendiary device under a Fox 13 news vehicle and later forced a Magna neighborhood to evacuate during an FBI raid. Court documents identify the suspects as 58-year-old Adeeb Nasir and 31-year-old Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir. Both face multiple charges, including terrorism threats, weapons of mass destruction, and possession of explosive devices. Investigators say the device under the Fox 13 vehicle was real and had been lit but failed to function. Agents later tracked the suspects to a Magna home in the 2700 South block of 8500 West. During a search of the home, the suspect...
Can we freeze the frame right where it was on the black flag? Okay, let's start here. Do you see that banner on the wall, guys? Let's go taco. Do I need to explain what that banner means? Because I think you all know what let's go taco means. That is when the left came up with their brilliant idea to mock Trump in retaliation of let's go Brandon. So right there you have the let's go taco by their window. Now, if you play a little bit more, we go to a black flag in like a front of the yard right there. Is he dead yet? Is he dead yet? Who is he? Who do you think it is? Why is none of this, like, why did I have to sit there frame by frame a screenshot and put this as my little tiny investigative evidence on my Substack? Why is FBI not actually saying, at least allegedly, potentially, they are Muslim, anti-Trump, father and son? This is Trump's FBI, isn't it? If this was reversed, can you imagine? Because I'm pretty sure, again, quickly going back to last Wednesday, everybody was waiting. They're still stretching as far as they can to connect Tyler Robinson to some sort of transgender movement. I don't even need to stretch this. It doesn't even need a connector. Two very clear messages on their front yard of who these two people are, and their faces are being protected from public? Are you kidding me? Why? So many whys. So many. Why this is not getting heavy coverage? Why is this not getting heavy coverage? Why is this not all over every single... Okay, I get it. We want to post 75 posts a day about Charlie Kirk, updates and all of that. That's fantastic. Can the 76 be about this? All the conservative alternative medias out there? Or we don't want to provoke them? Or are you afraid of being called a racist because the father's from Pakistan? Or wait, is Islamophobia getting to you? What is it? Getting no coverage. Number one. And may I remind you again, this happened on Friday. The arrest, now, if we look at the arrest record again, which I break this down on my Substack again, when you look at the son, Adil, look at the son's time of arrest, it says 13th of September at 1 a.m. September 13, 1 a.m. The father says September 14, 1 a.m. I broke it into two possible scenarios. They either literally, it was just a person who was typing it made a mistake, which is actually bad, but it's not terrible. It happens. Or did they have the son before they got the father? Because the original report says they just went in there and both son and father were in there and they were arrested. Was this just a error on typing? And if it was, which one is correct? Were they arrested Saturday or were they arrested Sunday? And if they were arrested Saturday or Sunday, what was going on? You know, again, during Charlie Kirk investigation, every 5 minutes we were getting updates. Even if there was no updates, we were getting updates, right? But there was an Islamic terror plot that was not folded. They didn't stop it from happening. By grace of God, the bomb malfunctioned and didn't go off. Do we really have to always wait for the bomb to go off before people hear about it? Before people put pressure on FBI to do something about it? This happened Friday. Either Saturday or Sunday, there was an arrest made. And to this day, again, I want to say my Substack is the only one calling it a Muslim anti-Trump bomber. And I highly doubt I have the sharpest eye to catch details like that. I actually wrote back. I haven't heard back yet. I wrote back and I said, wait, why was the son arrested on the 13th and not booked until the 14th? Because that on the paper it says Adil, the son, was arrested on the 13th at 1 a.m., booked on the 14th at 2:55 a.m. And then the father was arrested on the 14th at 1 a.m. and booked at 3:05 a.m. Again, it all comes back to possibly a mistake on the arrest date of the son. So it should have been both were arrested on the 14th at 1 a.m. and then the son was booked at 2:55 and then the father was at 3:05 or 3:03, whatever it is. But my point, well, you get my point. This is not acceptable. I get it. The country is mourning the loss of Charlie Kirk. I get it. The same state, however, faced terrorism, and Governor Spencer Cox is quiet. FBI is not talking about it. If you go to FBI's website right now, you still don't find any information on the Nasir family. I checked. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. And I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure when 3 of the charges are involving explosives, chemical, bombing, weapon of mass destruction, and terrorism, FBI is involved. So, what are you doing, guys? Who are we covering up for this time? We don't want to make people like Brannon House and Annie Cyrus to be right. There was an Islamic attack. Again, possibly through our prayers, that bomb malfunctioned. Otherwise, on Friday afternoon, me and Brannon would be live on Worldview YouTube telling people, hello, we've been telling you. And again, the father, Pakistani born, American citizen, son, American Utah born, Pakistani raised. Let me quickly check on the comments just in case. I agree, Payman John. What is going on is tangibly unbelievable. And the cover up by the government isn't the unbelievable part. The plot and the bombing and the weapon of mass destruction and the terrorism and the drugs in the Nasir family isn't what's unbelievable. The gullible, absolutely distracted, deeply asleep Americans is what's unbelievable to me. Seriously, can we not chew gum and walk at the same time? We have to pay attention to one problem at a time, weeks at a time? I guess we do. Christopher, the link to my Substack is liveuptofreedom.substack.com. It is right here on the lower third, the last link, liveuptofreedom.substack.com. The FBI should be talking about that bombing. That should be national news. Agreed, Billy. This should be national news. And over the weekend, again, I'll admit, I gave myself a break. I unplugged about 5 or 5:30 on Friday. I was losing it. I couldn't do what I needed to do. And I'm that person. I am very self-aware. I know when I need to unplug and just go have a cup of tea and watch some funny shows. In Farsi specifically, just with cultural sense of humor. I did that. But then last night, and here's where it gets very interesting. Yesterday, I woke up, did my things, went to church, came back, filmed my any time of the day for the week, and did a couple of other things and started catching up with the news. I found this report on a Farsi source, not an American source. I found it on one of my Farsi language sources. And then people ask me, why are you always heading other side? Because apparently the other side can give me more updates than my own side. By the way, since I brought up, Thomas, why don't we do this? Let's play that any time of the day and then head us straight to our ad break before we go to our last segment. Can we do that?
We're going to talk about the equal rights under Sharia. Because Reliance of the Traveler on Chapter 4.9 says the indemnity for the death or injury of a woman is 1/2 the indemnity paid for a man. The indemnity paid for a Jew or Christian is 1/3 of a Muslim man. The indemnity paid for a Zoroastrian is 1/5 of a Muslim man. If a miscarriage happens, either by stroking the stomach of the pregnant woman or even just scaring her or causing the miscarriage, the indemnity for the fetus is worth 1/20th of the indemnity payable for killing the fetus's father or 1/10 that of its mother. And the indemnity is whatever they agree upon. So there's no set indemnity. For example, in Iran, they have different. In Saudi Arabia, different. Bahrain, Kuwait, Somalia, all of them. But the point is, I love the equal rights. Life of a woman versus man. Life of a Jew and a Christian and a Zoroastrian versus a man. Muslim man, they're all equal. You just heard the percentages. They all get paid equally. That's it. That was your anytime of the day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work. Try to see a doctor this week or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Go to worldviewhealthcare.com. Your kit to treat dozens of common and serious illnesses is rushed to your door. worldviewhealthcare.com. That's worldviewhealthcare.com.
The emergency kit available at worldviewhealthcare.com. Make sure you don't have to go to urgent care. I got pneumonia. I didn't have to go. I took this last year. Stayed at home, went to bed.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. What you just watched at the end of last segment, it's called Annie, Time of the Day. They are 1 to 2 minute segments, literally, just like that. You can find them on my Substack. You can find them on my YouTube or TikTok. They are published daily, Monday through Friday at night, between 8 and 9, depending on where I rush to my computer to post them. And there's either Quran verse, Hadith, or Reliance. The one we just played was from Reliance of the Traveler, a collection of classic manual of Islamic sacred laws known as Sharia. And somewhat the reason that was relevant, I want to invite you to catch them, watch them. It's the fastest, most creative way I could come up with, the way to get everybody to learn without having to sit there or spend money to buy Reliance or Hadith or Quran and read it. So I'm, small spoon pieces of feeding you the information. The reason that one is relevant, again, what kind of religion puts a price? There's a price. Even the Muslim man who gets the highest pay above everybody else, there's a price on your life when you're a Muslim. And there's a price on everybody else's life. Let's defend Islam as religion of peace, or even as a religion. But yeah, I'll invite you to, if you're a YouTube user, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, ACU. That's Annie Cyrus Unfiltered, ACU News. If you're on Substack, every night you can see these popping up on my notes. And if you are a TikTok user, Any Time of the Day is the handle on my TikTok that only contains Any Time of the Day, nothing else. Every night, one clip goes up on those three platforms. I want to address Jeff. Jeff up north on Substack said, maybe they will be charged in a couple of days and then we will hear more information. Jeff, I know you by name. You have been a great supporter. I've seen you comment, share, restack, and all that on my Substack, and I appreciate you for that. But that is the wrong attitude. That is a wrong. Enough of few more days. First things first, if you read the Substack, they have already been charged. They have already been charged, and charges right now listed, the 5 charges are weapon of mass destruction, manufacture, possess, sell, or use, attempted aggravated arson, threat of terrorism, use of weapon, hoax, mass destruction. I misspelled destruction there, but I'll fix it. Explosive, chemical, possessing, removing, and possessing parts. They've been charged, right? So the reason I say that is a wrong attitude, though, see, we have constantly done this. Well, they're still investigating. It's still an open investigation. I think when it comes to specifically, when it comes to Islamic threat, when it comes to jihad attacks, the nation needs to be immediately informed, not for mass panic. No, for mass preparation. What if on my Substack, I go there. I'm like, what if the bomb would go off? What if this was a series of attacks? What if they did Friday and then they had a plan for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday too? This kind of information, even if they don't have someone in custody, they have 2, not 1, but 2 people in custody already who've been booked, who's been charged, and they are set on no bail because they are so dangerous. Even if none of that applied, the nation should have been informed. The FBI should have put out the information, and most certainly Governor Spencer Cox should have been on camera saying, by the way, he's following up on what a disaster week my state has faced. Here's another information for at least residents of Utah. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I think we need to change the attitude of maybe in few days, maybe in few weeks. That is how we got here. And Jeff, this is not me. I want you to know I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to tell you where my head is at. When a bomb is discovered on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, investigation goes on, evidence is built up, Monday morning, charges are in, and court is immediately denying them bail. And as of right now, 4:51 p.m., Eastern time, there's just still no mass information about it. I think we're doing something very wrong. People deserve to know. This is cover up. It is. When such an important thing is not, again, this wasn't something they got the guys before they drove, or it wasn't some FBI operation, which I'm against those too, where they hand the bomb, fake hoax bomb to the terrorists to go try, and then they have enough evidence to arrest them. This was a real case. And again, by grace of God, the bomb malfunctioned and didn't go off. But imagine if it did. Imagine if this bomb went off on their Fox 13 van in front of a completely occupied building, business building. I don't know. The fire that would have catch. The disaster of a Friday evening in Utah. I don't know. I guess if you disagree, then you're very welcome, Jeff. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping some of my recent reports can give a different point of view of what we could do differently. And again, I strongly discourage you to go on my Substack. I also released a Substack on Saturday that has gone viral. This is my first Substack on Substack that has gone so far, and I'm very grateful for the news app that picked that up and basically helped boost it out there. It's about Ilhan Omar. I published, it's a long one. Have your popcorn or tea or coffee or glass of wine reading it, but it is titled Ilhan Omar, the Untouchable Congresswoman. I figured it is time for us to put one long resume of Ilhan Omar from where she comes from, what she's done. And I went an extra mile on that Substack, noting there are notes at the bottom of each event pointing out if it was by legal codes of America, if it was grounds for investigation, if it was grounds for impeachment, if it was grounds for present time, and all of that. So, but I call it a Substack, but one of my very kind readers said this could be literally printed and taken as a case to be tried against Ilhan Omar. So I do, again, encourage you to head over. I think as of right now, it's sitting at 23,000 views on it, which is amazing. But yeah, and that's what it is. Again, we have the issue of the left. We absolutely do. But you know what else we have? We have the issue of Islamization, the conquer. There are about to grow in number in our offices. And tomorrow, I called it, this is not a hit piece, but I did another hit piece on Ilhan Omar's maker, Keith Ellison. The title that will come out tomorrow at 7 p.m., that is Tuesday at 7 p.m., will be Keith Ellison, the godfather of the green machine. I realized a few years ago I did a piece on Keith Ellison as a video, which is available on my YouTube channel, but then I figured it's time to write on him too. A lot of people think Keith is gone and done. He's not, and it is important to know who he is and how he got away with all of it, a lot of it. Keith Ellison got away with a lot of it, and that's how they do. You know, they put the new face up, the godfather gets behind a spotlight and continues doing what he needs to do. Anyhow, but with all of that, again, I encourage you to go to my Substack, become a subscriber. Some of these pieces are for free. The Utah bombing is for free. It will stay open for free. The Ilhan Omar, Keith Ellison, CARE, all of those are behind paywall. And again, because you have no idea the hours and hours of research, fact check, get the receipt, get the proper print, and then sit there and write it. The hours, I really need to pay my bills. So most of these exposés are behind paywall, but I produce about 5 to 6 a month that some of my readers have put testimonies on my page that you will not find this anywhere. This clean, this bulletproof, and this detail And the cost for all of it is either $8 a month or $80 a year. You pay for a 10-month and you get 12 months of access to paywall exposés, writings, videos, Q&As, whatever. And also the paid members, of course, will get priority on comments and messages sent in or requested topics to be discussed. Okay, I'm coming literally down to end of this. Brian says, with God, there are no untouchables. Yes. Say that to the members of our government who are protecting Ilhan Omar. I agree with what you're saying in an arena of faith. Our government right now stands so far from God and faith and truth that that sentence will have no meaning to them. It won't. So yes, based on lack of actions and reactions from us, the Americans, and the power of cover up from the godless governments in whatever party they belong to, she is at the moment untouchable. Again, if you read that piece, you'll see that I made the point. She has done certain things that anyone would 30 years ago. Even a president would be impeached, possibly imprisoned, or in her case, citizenship revoked and deported. She is, however, still standing as a congresswoman, untouched, and doing her thing, which is furthering the agenda of Islamization. Okay, guys, we have 1 minute, 48 seconds. I will encourage you to head over to my Substack, become a subscriber, possibly a paid subscriber. Also go to lutfstudio.com. That's lutfstudio.com. You can use promo code MISSION for discounts on all items. New items are coming actually tonight and tomorrow. I didn't realize this is going to be covered, but one of the most hot sellers that are coming up are my heart necklaces that will be listed, about 12 of them tonight. Not this color, but other designs. Now, the reason I'm pushing for the Substack and the LUTF Studio art store today, I sent a mass email before out to my subscribers of email requesting to help me before September 1st. I was able to buy a little bit more time. By end of this month, if I don't meet the required number of sales or subscribers, I will have no choice but to either cut my show as is 5 days a week or 4 days a week, take it to 1 day, or just move it behind paywall for paid subscribers, or I will have to stop writing as much as I do. I would like to do neither. However, as I said, I cannot just sit here 17 hours a day, report on things no one else does, say things nobody else bluntly says, put my neck out there, which I'm okay with dying for it, but I can't go bankrupt doing this. So again, lutfstudio.com, promo code MISSION, or liveuptofreedom.substack.com. Lord willing, by end of the month, we will figure it out and stay on air, and if not, that's all right too. But for now, I will see you tomorrow on Mission for Freedom right here on all these.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to have you here. We have some big things to announce. Today, at the request of